Hi everyone, just wanted to do a little bit of a refresher about how you can log into EasyBib and establish a new project. First off, you want to go to easybib.com. Once you get there, you will go to the login section. Put in your username and or your password. I clearly can't do two things at once. When you click log in, you're going to be greeted with a screen that looks like this. Now, one of the most important things that you're going to be looking for is the Downingtown West crest. That is going to mean that you put in that coupon code, which is going to mean that you have access to the pro features, many of which we're going to need as we go through this project. Down here in the middle, you're going to see the variety of projects that maybe you have established. I have all of yours here that I have been grading and taking a look at. But what you want to do to create a new project, obviously, is go to New Project. And when you click on that, it'll ask you what your project name is. Please do not just title it English Research Paper or My Research Paper. Try to pick something more specific so that when I look at it, I get an idea about what your topic is. It will already include your name when I see your project because that's a part of your EasyBib account. So I am going to use my standard example of steroid use in professional sports and baseball. Now, the subject, you don't really need to worry about that. Obviously, this is an English paper, so you can toggle that. I don't need to know what you're writing about, but we need to make sure that we toggle default style MLA. This is going to ensure that all of your citations and information will be in the MLA format, and that's going to be really critical when we think about plagiarism. So when you hit create, it'll bring up your project, and I have about 1 million here, but I have to go all the way down to the bottom, which is where the new projects generally pop up, and I will see that I have the bibliography option, I have the notebook option, and I have the paper option. I will go over in a different video how it is that you guys will create your EasyBib bibliography, but something that I wanted to show to you guys is how you can establish your notebook, your thesis statement, your outline, all that good stuff. So when we click on notebook, we're going to see that that is going to be present up here in the top bar, and we're going to see a screen that looks a lot like this. Now, this is what you'll see when you first have a new project and you haven't yet created your outline. Over here is going to be where the majority of our outline is constructed. We have a thesis statement, which we are going to need to enter, and we're going to need to enter some outline headings. Your thesis statement is entered simply by double-clicking, and you enter your thesis statement here. After you've done that, it will be there, it will be beautiful, and it will be wonderful. In order to add your outline headings, you simply click New Bullet. When you click New Bullet, it comes up, it simply says New Item. You double-click on that, and you can title it what you want. This is going to be important because then when it comes time for you to create a note and you want to put it under that section, you will simply click and drag it into that part of your outline. Now, if you are looking at this and you're like, hey, I know I want a sub heading that goes under that, you can click New Bullet. It'll come in and maybe you're like, but I want it to be indented. You click on it and then you use the arrows to bump it in. You can bump it up, you can bump it down, you can move it all over the place, wherever you would like to place it. Okay. So let's say we've got our heading and everything over here, and I want to start creating notes. Now, I probably would have created notes before I would have started with the outline thing, but when I click on New Note, it's going to bring up this information. Now, here's where things get a little bit tricky. A little complicated here because we need to make sure that we include and incorporate a bunch of different things here. Now, let's say again that I am sticking with my steroid use in professional sports and baseball, okay? And I want to create a note that has background information. Okay, so background on baseball and steroids. Okay, one of the most important things that can help protect you against plagiarism is to make sure that you choose your source from the associated drop-down menu. We're going under the assumption that you have already copied or pasted the information from a direct quote into this note. Okay, so give me a minute to do that. So I think that this sentence seems like a great background direct quote. So I'm going to put that into my note. I simply copy and paste it in here. We know that it's a direct quote because I put it under the direct quote thing. I'm choosing not to paraphrase it. I know that this source came from the Illinois Business Law Journal, so I'm clicking on that. This will then show up in my note, and it will also show up with a citation so that when I incorporate it into my paper, I'm easily able to identify where I got this information from, and it will protect me against plagiarism. Since I don't have a paraphrase, I don't put that in. I don't really have a comment, and I don't have an identifier. So I will save my note, and it will be saved here on this little desktop thing. Now, in order to take this and get it into my outline, I will simply click it and drag it. Now, depending on where I want to put it, I would need to move it around and whatnot. If I don't like where it ended up and I want it to move up, or I want it to move out, or I want it to move in, I can just click on it and use the arrows to move it around. I know especially on these school computers it's sometimes tough to figure out where exactly you need to put the cursor in order to accurately place something. But that is how you click and drag a note into your outline after you've created it, after you've cited your source, which I will show you how to do in a different video. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Make good decisions.